What's good guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video of Exos Heroes, our regular Fate Core Otard is gonna get the Co-Reverse Fate Core upgrade. Yes, the Dominator of Battle Otard is going to get this Co-Reverse Fate Core upgrade, and her banner is going to start from the August 23rd, 8 p.m. till August 30th, 8 p.m. Now the question is she really going to shine with her new upgrades? Now that's the thing we need to discuss in this video today. Alright, let's get this started. Well, her artwork remains the same, no change in artwork, and she definitely looks damn amazing. Alright, let's get down guys. Skill change information. Counter 3, it says the passive effect. Well, it counters upon taking damage, so definitely it's going to help her to gain extra mana, but it's pretty conditional, meaning like the opponents really have to damage her before she can start countering the opponents. All right, so there we go guys. But provided that if there are like frost damage immunity effect going on, which just negates any kind of damage incoming towards her, she is not going to counter at that time. So that's another condition out there as well. So it's not something that in the recent days you can really capitalize on. That's what I think. Anyways, gain mana, 1 mana if the target dies. So if she counters and if the target dies, then she is going to gain 1 mana. All right, gain mana, 1 mana if the health of the target is at 70% or more. So there we go guys. Very cool way to gain extra mana right off the bat, because she's really going to need a lot of mana to invest it into her active skill so that she can deal a lot of damage against the opponents. All right, there we go. Dragon Knight Blessing is something that's it's going to really help her out or make her shine in the Holy Dragon grounds. All right, there we go guys, because 250% increased damage against the dragon is definitely something that you have to consider. And guess what guys, overtime effect is right over here as well. Decreases the enhanced Dragon Fang effect used by the fire element dragon of order by 20%. Note that she is a fire element hero unit. Alright, that means if there is any kind of critical damage happening around in the battle, she's going to gain 1 more excess mana. Harbinger of Awakening afflicts mark of revenge to an enemy that killed an ally. Alright, this buff is removable, just like the Fate Core Shofragan, Fate Core Raquel, Fate Core Black Fate Core Baraka, and those kind of units right over there. Other hero units who have the Harbinger of Awakening effect, if they can trigger that effect, she will also get that effect triggered as well. But what will happen when she is awakened? Awakening, Dominator of Battle. It says the buff is going to be applied on her. She will be increasing own critical hit by 360 points. I think it's same like Fate Core Raquel, which is definitely amazing, guys. She is capable of dealing solid damage against the opponents, and if she can improve her critical hit by a massive amount, this is definitely going to help her out to deal massive damage against the opponents. So hear that one out. All right, decreases block by 180 points. That means she is going to just lay some amazing damage against the opponents, guys. All right, special increases attack speed by 25 points. That's going to be really cool indeed. I mean, like, her base attack speed stat is not really that bad either. It's pretty good, and having that 25 extra attack speed is definitely going to help her out to gain next turn really fast, and gains damage immunity for 4 turns when the health is at or below 30%, meaning like if she is going to have the damage immunity, she is not going to die at all for 4 turns. She is going to remain immune. I think you must have already seen that effect ongoing with the Fate Core Shofragan, Fate Core Lepen, Fate Core Raquel in the PvP content, right? So there we go guys, and that's quite helpful. I mean, like, just think about it. If she is standing around to just deal that burst type of AoE damage that she has against the opponents, definitely it's going to be quite countable. Okay, so there we go. The next thing is going to be her first active skill. That's going to be Brutal Axe. Okay, so after it says required mana is going to be 3 mana effect as a fire element hero unit. Like, requiring a lot of mana is not really that good, because it's going to be a little bit hard for her to gain a lot of mana. Okay, and 3 cost is kind of a little bit high, but the damage that she's going to deal is impressive. Just like Rudley, she's going to deal 525% damage to one enemy, but after the Fate Core Reverse upgrade, now there are some really good addition to this skill, which can actually improve this skill way further, guys. Look into it. Deals 525% extra damage to target affected with status effects when the skill hits. Wow, just think about it, man. Wow, that's a lot of damage, guys. 1050% total damage to the enemy if that target has status effect being binded to it, like provoke, let's modification, freeze, shock, stun, like those kind of effects. Okay, if they have on with them, then they are going to receive some humongous amount of damage. So this means that like she can pretty much pair up with like Fate Core Ullum, who is so good at providing that, to inflict that provoke against the opponents, right? In that case, you can really look forward to deal some amazing damage, all right? And remove. She is also going to remove all the status effects from the target as well. Well, for the extra damage that she is going to deal, which is pretty much impressive, and it's huge. All right, it's huge. She is going to remove all those status effects, so it's like a dispel of the status effects from the opponents, which may not really work really good for your side. Okay, you definitely want that status effects to remain on the opponents, but still having that extra damage against the opponents is definitely quite cool indeed. I'm like, think about it, man. She definitely has improved her DPS power tremendously. The second active skill is going to be Destruction Blow. Well, after, guys, look into it. It's going to require 5 mana, and it's a burst effect, meaning if she has 10 mana, she's going to deal insane amount of damage against the opponents, guys. Okay, just like Fate Core Battery and the Fate Core Annie, she will be dealing 357% damage to all enemies, which is impressive. Really impressive, man. If she can have 10 mana and burst this effect on the opponents are not really going to stay alive. And on top of that one, there is a special effect from now onwards, thanks to the core reverse, deals 357% extra damage to the targets affected with the status effects when the skill hits. Oh my god, man. The 357% damage was already too OP. It's quite an AoE delete button, okay? It can really deal some amazing damage against the opponents, especially when you have 10 mana on your stash, okay? And that has made Fate Core Battery and Fate Core Annie pretty effective in the PvP battles as well. And as she is a fire element type of heroine, definitely she is not going to be stopped by that Summer Blessing, which is going to provide that frost immunity effect to the to the allies, right, to the opponents or something like that. So in that case as well, she is still going to charge ahead and deal some impressive damage. So there we go, guys. Pretty usable unit indeed. And just like the first active skill, she is going to remove all status effects from the targets after dealing such humongous amount of damage. If the opponents are going to stay alive, that is. Okay, so in the paper, it looks really amazing, isn't it? All you need to see is that, status effects on the opponents, like modifications, freeze, stun, shock, and provoke on the opponent, and at that time you will be able to deal some amazing damage to the opponents. But is it really practical? Now that is another question, guys. Yes, this is skill. These skills are really capable of dealing amazing, humongous amount of damage to the opponents, provided that the condition is fulfilled. But the problem is that, is this condition really viable in the PvE as well as the PvP content? Alright, let's start from the PvE content. Well, I think all of you actually know by now that most of the boss units in the game are totally immune, not only to the status effects, but even to the damages. When you are really trying to play in the Yupir's Labyrinth, you will know it, alright? So it's pretty much absurd. It's really ridiculous in this game that how the bosses are really OP. How they are made really OP in this game. And man, so in the PvE content, I would say these modifications are not really going to apply that nicely, okay? Unless certain contents come out where the bosses are not really that immune anymore, and they are very susceptible to the status effects. Okay, so that is it right over there, guys. All right, damn. And the next thing that I want to tell to you guys is that in the PvP content, well, yes, it looks really cool. With the Fate Core Ullum, she has quite a viability right out there to deal some massive amount of damage, because Fate Core Ullum is really good at provoking the opponents. Or let's say, Fate Core Dagos, okay? Those guys are really good at provoking the opponents. And at that time, it looks pretty cool. But when it comes to the current meta, our current meta is all about speed. And looking into her skills, look into it. I mean, like, she really requires a lot of mana. I mean, like, even if you have Fate Core Iris in your team, which definitely is quite a good thing to have around, but our Fate Core Otard is a little bit faster than the Fate Core Iris. That means like Fate Core Otard will not be able to use her first active skill or the second active skill right away unless she is assisted by the Fate Core Annie. And in the current PvP meta, definitely the Fate Core Rera is the one with the highest high speed, like 115 plus 32 speed is just something that nobody can actually beat up, right? So definitely, if you are trying to look out for some really good damage from the Fate Core Otard, you are going to look out for the second round. And in the second round, usually the Fate Core Rera has, I'm like, we'll have already finished up the game. We'll have already crippled up the enemy, I mean, like the opponent team, okay? And in that case, definitely I think the Fate Core Otard is not going to be that viable indeed. That's what I really do think. I mean, like, her potential is really, really impressive right over here to deal some amazing damage against the opponents, but the mana cost is the one that is really lagging her behind. That's the thing, alright? Unless you get crazy lucky and most of your fastest hero unit out there are really being able to spam a lot of critical damage, maybe she might have a little bit of chance to use her first active skill, but still it's very minimal chance right out there because she just have a really good attack speed, and that means like she's going to move on really fast. That means in the first round she's not going to be able to do anything at all that much to provide any kind of assistance to the team, okay? So that is the problem right over there. She's really looking forward for the second round to actually deal any kind of decent damage against the opponents. And in the second round, first turn, usually the Fate Core Rera is the one who actually makes the decisive blow. So with that thing being considered, I would say in the current PvP meta, she's not really going to help with anything at all. So that is a little bit problematic thing right up there. Maybe for the PvP tag teams, she can actually come up with a extra alternative when there are like certain opponents right over there who are not really that as fast as the Fate Core Rera, and they have like decent attack speeds, and you know, like it's just like the normal PvP battles. Then yes, in the PvP tag matches, she has some utility right over there. So she has some uses, but when it comes to the main PvP meta, no, she is not going to fit in right over there, guys. Well, for in the PvE content, I mean, like, she is totally not really going to be really that impressive. So PvE content, just blow it out. PvP content, main 1 versus 1 PvP match, blow it out, okay, not really cool. But for the PvP tag matches, maybe, yes, okay, things, I mean, like, if she can really be a really good substitution, you can use her around. That's what I really have to say. But the damage potential that she has is quite impressive indeed, but the game has not really provided a very good breeding ground for her to actually shine with this kind of effect right over here, because I mean, like, so many units right out there, whether the PvE as well as the PvP contents, are pretty much immune to the status effects. And even if they are not immune to the status effects, speed is the current meta, okay? Especially the speed applied with the mana count. More mana plus speed. That is the good combination in the current situation. All right, that's what I have to say. That those are my insights. Rest is up to you. And you might be asking, should I really pull her up? I mean, like, is she really worth summoning? I mean, like, should I really invest myself on her? And I would say, like, no. No. I mean, like, if you have already the Fate Core Otard, is definitely going to get this extra effects. But if you are asking me to invest like cess into this banner, I would say not really. Unless she is your waifu or you really want to improve your collection, then it's up to you. You are a whale, it's really up to you. I mean, like, go ahead. But as a free-to-play player, I would say, like, no. I mean, like, Fate Core Valentina, it's just right out there. I mean, like, just a few more days and she will be out there, all right? So try to save your cess for the Fate Core Valentina, and I am hoping that Fate Core Valentina can actually provide some really good changes in the current meta. Okay, that is pretty much it, guys. Okay, if you already have Dominator of Battle Otard, the change skill will be applied after the update. Dominator of Battle Otard is black rated Fate Core. The chance increase of the recruit Dominator of Battle Otard is 0.7% chance because he is a black rated Fate Core, alright? So that's really cool. And earned 1 recruitment mileage when you recruiting heroes 11 times. In order to achieve a definite recruit, you must acquire 19 core mileages, so she can be pitted at the 19th summon. Okay, so there we go, guys, and we are also going to receive this exclusive weapon called the Lava Talisman. That's going to provide the attack from 160 to 194. Alright, looks cool. Looks pretty good, but, well, the chance of getting this kind of equipments are really slim, and definitely it's not a great idea to invest your cess into the exclusive weapons, okay? So that's all I have to say to you guys. Not really a good idea to spend your money, your cess, into this kind of stuff right away, which I really don't know, like, what this game is really trying to think. I mean, like, just reviewing the current list of the top revenue earning gacha games in the mobile platforms. Oh my god, Exos Heroes is nowhere to be found. It's not actually making any kind of revenues at all lately. Thanks to all these kind of useless banners. Man, I feel like I would really love to recommend the game developers of this game to be more creative. Try to make those kind of characters, try to make those kind of upgrades that would actually be more practical, not like this kind of upgrades. I mean, like, which is really great. These upgrades are really awesome. I mean, like, this can really provide some huge, insane amount of damage output against opponents. But, is it really practical? And the answer is no. No! Even though it has so huge potential, the answer is no, man. It's not really that practical at all. That's the main problem, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, what a disaster. Okay, that's all I have to say to you guys. I would really love to know your insights, views, and opinions in the comment section below. And this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.